If anybody is out there and can hear me, say hi. Testing, just going live on YouTube after all the issues I've been having with the live streaming. With some of the OBS based programs that I've been trying. So just let me know you can hear me and that you can see what's going on. Unfortunately, this won't, I have to use this setup. I have it on my iPad, but it still wants it to be in this orientation. So just say hi. I don't know how long I'll be on. I'm just hoping that it works and you can hear me and all that good stuff. This is just a little sanding block that I 3D printed to give some leverage to my sanding efforts. So I've had the same sandpaper in there for a while, so I'm just gonna switch this up. Anyway, like I said, let me know you can hear me. I'm just using the audio from the iPad. And then I'm gonna do some work on my Horizon cars that I have for New Jersey Transit. While we're out here, I'm gonna get started on getting some of the details on there that I've already got printed. Hey Carter, welcome. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. That's much appreciated. Now we're gonna see if we get any internet interference throughout, or if it's truly some of the software that I'm just struggling with. But I appreciate you coming in and let me know you can hear me. So I'm not finished with the private car yet, but with my trip coming up to New Jersey, I got to hold off on buying stuff. I'm gonna buy, instead of doing it myself, I'm just gonna buy a lighting kit either from Walthers or Rapido for that private car as one of the details, and then put that in as one of the last details, and then put in some LED lights on the end of the car, on the observation end of the car. And then so with the trip coming up in about a week, well, not in about a week, I'll be leaving on Friday. I'm actually taking Amtrak out from Minneapolis to New Jersey, and then hanging out with my mom for a couple weeks, and then back I will come to work again on the cars I'm working on. But so trying to give this just a beveled edge on there, like the article that I'm using says do. And you know, if this works this way, you know, maybe I don't do all the fancy stuff and just do a live with this with the YouTube. I was also thinking of going live on Facebook, but you can't do both. So not unless you pay for a service that lets you do that I'm aware of anyway. One of these days I'll do a Facebook Live type of thing as well. I have some fans out on the Facebook as well, so might as well do that since I've been pretty much exclusively a YouTube guy. But I do have a page on Facebook. It's kind of like a business page, but not really, because I'm not doing any business on it. But it's to highlight my model railroading and other people's model railroading and stuff too. So I could go live on there. Try that one day maybe. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing tonight, just hanging out, getting a little model railroading in to say that I did. And check this out. So if anybody else is out there watching and wants to say hi, go for it. I know we got some other, usually around this time, I think there's some other railroading. I think it's Mike and James up there in Canada do a live stream on Monday nights, and that's probably what's going on now. So, but I wanted to see if I could just do this and make sure I'm doing something model railroading tonight. So I have a Bamboo Labs A1 printer that I've been designing and printing underbody parts for, and so I wanted to start getting those on these cars. Here's some of the, just to show you some of the parts. Here's some, probably can't see it too well, but you know, these are the cross beams that are going to go across the main sill. They have some holes in them, designed in them so that we can get some wiring through. Don't know if I'll use them on, if you're supposed to use them on passenger cars. I did this for the cab car, but I created this sandbox, and then there are a number of other parts in here, an air conditioning unit as well. So yeah, that's what I'm working on tonight. Let me know what you guys are working on. Hi, Nathan. Welcome in. I'm just testing, going straight to YouTube live instead of using any of the other services that I've used because of all the troubles I've had with my streams lately. It doesn't seem, our internet doesn't seem to be down or anything like that. It seems to be working just fine. But I've had interruptions and problems. So just thought I'd test it tonight. And like I said, I know there are other live streams going on tonight, and so I don't expect people in, but I just wanted to get this tested and come back and I'll watch the replay and see how all the audio did on it. I didn't announce this or anything, and so I'm sure people are busy doing other things. Oh, that's a part from a kit. I don't know why that got in there, but we'll throw it in there. Are you working on anything tonight, Nathan, or are you just hanging out in chats on streams tonight? Hey, Steel Mill Modeling, welcome in. Just doing a test stream tonight because I've had so many problems with some of the other services. I'm just going live here on YouTube. I got my, unfortunately, I have to have this view for whatever reason. It thinks I'm using a phone even though I'm using my iPad camera. Oh, nice, Nathan. That's cool. So here's a model of the underbody, and I'll start with the main junction box here in the middle. That main junction box, that's for the cab car, so it's longer. There's a shorter box for non-cab car, which these are, and I printed those, and those are a very basic shape. It's basic. It just really is this rectangle with just a little bit of a ledge on it, and so that's simply going to go somewhere in the middle here, like so. And then I think then I'll do those cross beams. Those are so tiny, those will take me a minute to do, I think. So thanks, appreciate that. So I'm for the NMRA achievement program. That's the whole reason for doing this. I have I'm doing, unfortunately the cab car won't be motive power because I didn't use I don't have a motor in it. It's just it has a decoder in it for sound and lights, but not for motive power. But then these will be the passenger cars, and they're Comet 4 cars that were used by New Jersey Transit back when I was a traveler back in the late 80s and early 90s. So it'll be pushed by a separate engine. I actually have one. Do I have it up here? It's an AM7, but this is the Amtrak version. But there is New Jersey Transit also had this, and so I'll have to do a repaint on that, or I could get another one. What I really should be doing is building this, because I got to build motive power anyway, but I'm doing another engine, which is the F40PH engine, which was also from my time. I'm doing a build on that based on the Bachmann one. No, I did not. I'm not that old, Nathan. My mom said that she had seen them when she was young, but that's way before my time. And to be honest, I don't like any center cab stuff. I don't know why. I just have a thing against center cab engines. They don't look great to me. But everybody likes the GG ones. I'm definitely in the minority on that. So let's see here. Do I want to try to use? So the one thing that I have, one thing that's hard with gluing for this stuff is some of the filament for 3D printers. Some of the plastics don't take well to like to me, a thin cement, that type of cement that melts the plastic. So you end up having to use the super glue. And I use this super gold. And as you can see here, it's odorless, because I had a reaction at one point when using, I think, Gorilla Glue CA. So I've stayed away from stuff with odors in there. So I get the good old toothpick out often, and then we'll get that on the center here. And I'm not going to be too specific with this because it just has to look somewhat centered. And then got to make sure it's on, because it took right away. So there, we've got our first part done that quickly. Yeah, they did use GG ones. And it was late in, it was, I would say, late for GG ones when they were still on the road. And so I would believe that they were out there. I never saw one live that I remember, personally. So no, I haven't gotten a chance to see that. It's been mostly the AEMs and the F40PHs. So, and I have been, I don't know if I have them readily available, but I've been working on the shell of the FP40 as a 3D print, and I've gotten decently far with that. That still needs a lot of work, still in the preliminary stage. On that one. Since I'm eyeing it, my eyes aren't great. Hopefully not too bad. I got them almost in the same spot. Not too bad. So, And then I'm gonna have to print more of these crossbars. I printed, I think, just enough for one car. Gotta make sure I have all the right ones here. So there are a total of 14 for these cars. So these are Walther's Horizon underbodies and shells that I have that were mainly used by Amtrak, but they're the same build as New Jersey Transit Comet cars. And so I'm doing New Jersey Transit Comet 4 version cars from my era, which was late 80s and early 90s. And so for the AP, you need 8 cars. Some scratch built, some super detailed. These are all going to be super detailed. And they're not considered scratch built because the body is still, I'll alter the body, but alter the shell, I mean. And I've basically, what I did with these is I cut off all of the factory parts and sanded it down, put some filler in, started with the with the center sill with styrene, and I'm trying to print or build or make 3D printed parts for this as I continue my 3D printing journey. On the cab car, which is mostly built, I only have a couple 3D printed parts. Everything else was made with styrene. But trying to focus on my CAD drawing skills for this. So what do I have? 4, 7. I've got half of them there. And I'm going to have to eye the spacing on these too. There's not really, there's spacing for the, there's spacing that they provide, but they don't have the exact spacing, so it's all by eye. I think there are 4 more I need in here somewhere. That looks like it. Those do not. All right. So, sorry if I'm off camera. Getting used to the way this camera is set up. This is just my iPad, but it had to be set up. It wouldn't let me go live. It thinks it's a cell phone or something, so it won't let me go live without this version of this angle, whatever you want to call it. So, still figuring the things out. Unfortunately, having the problems with the live stream lately has been very frustrating. Yeah, and Nathan, the NMRA defines it as a tool just like a CNC machine or any other tool. It's all, you have to prove out it's your designs, and so far these pieces are my designs, and so they're considered allowed. That it's not a kit or something like that. The only thing is, if you have somebody else 3D printing for you or something like that, they can't make any alterations. If something's not right, they have to tell you so that you can make the alterations. Otherwise, the NMRA won't accept that because somebody else is doing the work by correcting whatever issues. And so, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. There's one more somewhere in here, hopefully. Either that or it's missing. Don't really want to print one whole one of these out, so I might have to come back to that. I'm gonna have to print them for the other cars as well. So the prize, it's not if you win, it's about becoming the master model railroader, and the achievement program is about making yourself a better modeler. And so it has a bunch of guidelines that you have to follow, but there's no time limit. You can do it whenever you want, for however long you want. You have to get 7 out of 11 possible certificates to become a master model railroader and have that designation. And some of it's actual model railroading, some of it's authorship, some of it's volunteering. Most of it's model railroading itself, though. Yeah, and I think I'm just missing a piece there. So we'll have to get that printed, and when I print the other cross beams. And again, you can so essentially, yes, they do have events where you can show off. They have railroad prototype modelers meets, and they have regional conventions, like here in the with the Thousand Lakes region, which I'm part of. We have a convention every year, and all of the regions have conventions, and they have a celebration room where you bring your models, and you can bring any models. So if you're a car builder, like a four-wheel car builder or truck builder, I know we have an avid truck builder that displays his work all the time in our region and at our events. And so it mainly is going to focus obviously on model railroad themed stuff, but it doesn't have to be. They have all kinds of categories. They always have a People's Choice category where you can vote on it. They have different model railroad categories, and so cars would fit in somewhere. If you're talking like road cars, rolling stock for or passenger cars, they have categories for that, and so you definitely can display them. So we're gonna try and get it somewhat towards this diagram. I try to use the bolsters as the reference, but because what I did actually, and I should do this again. So I went over to I have a inkjet printer that has a scanner on it. What I really should do is I should scale this up to full size, which I did originally, but I don't think I have that anymore, and I was able to place them easier. Otherwise, this would be me just eyeballing where the cross beams would go. So I might want to do that, or find and I literally just put this on the scanner, figured out how much to scale it up by doing some measuring, and then was able to have a full-size drawing with me on that. Even these, here's this modeler, all the stuff they did, and I did this all in styrene, except for one or two pieces on there. Let's see. We'll see if I can show you this here. See if this comes out. But this is the major modification I had to do on this was put in this center door. So I had to cut that out and put that in. And that was the most major. And then on the ends, see if I can get this in here. On the ends, I had to drill out for lights, and there are ditch lights in here that are working. Ditch lights, headlights, and marker lights. Marker lights on that side. But here's the underbody that I did originally. This is the sander was 3D printed. The cow catcher on the end here was also 3D printed. See if you can see that on there. But everything else to match what was in the article was all styrene. I think there's an extra greebly here that wasn't part of it that I added. Of course, let me see if I have any better. I don't know if I have any better lighting on here. Not really, but it's not too bad. Here, if I turn it towards the light, I have a light on the side. You can see that. So that was, again, like these, I cut off the bottoms, and you can see in the middle, right in the middle here, that's the longer junction box, the main junction box, and then we go out from there. And so here are the cross beams that I did with styrene, and so I think I'll have to print that out again with a larger picture, because I don't know where that is anymore, unless it's under here somewhere. That's just not that's just paper, but I'll have to do that so that I can get these on here in a easier, or make it look better, I should say. But essentially, there are going to be some small differences. This is, right here is a waste unit. I won't have that waste unit on all three. Maybe I'll put them on one. So one has a bathroom. These air reservoirs, there are 3 on the cab car. There's only that middle one on the other cars. So otherwise, they'll have mostly the same type of stuff. The bell there, that was a commercial part. I didn't add that one in. And again, this by definition can't qualify as a scratch build, because the modifying the shell and the underbody, those aren't scratch built. But you can scratch build them, and the whole thing could end up being scratch built. Thank you. I appreciate that. It certainly is a lot of work to do. I can understand now, being part of in this side of the hobby. I can understand why people want to have ready to run. Not everybody wants to build stuff. It's a lot of work. It's not. It's just not. It's a lot of work. So I don't think I need those sand boxes for these cars. So I don't think I'll add them. If I were to add the sandbox, I would have to take out like one whole corner of these. I'd have to like here's the sandbox there. I'd have to cut out that whole corner, you know, this whole piece here, which I did on the other one. And so I won't have to do that. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else. If I'm, I think I started trying to do the sewage treatment, but I haven't done that yet. I think it is the brake control unit. Let's see, those are. I have the air conditioner unit. I have one. I got to print out two more. I have the air reservoir. I have the brake control unit. Sandbox if I was going to use them. And the main junction box and the side sills. I think that's all I have right now for these cars designed. I use a program called Onshape for my CAD drawing. I learned that on a build on a model railroading show called New Tracks Modeling, and you know, I just got comfortable with that one, and working, and I'm just work on getting better with that every day. Now that I remember using that, I'm trying to go through where I have a bunch of stuff. Ah, here we go. So here, so I scaled that up. So I don't need the magazine for this. So I scaled this up so that it fits on there. It's slightly small. I mean, it's as wide, it's just slightly small on the ends. But now that'll be able to give me where I need to put the cross beams. So that will be next. Yep, I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know if my microphone will pick that up, but my dogs are barking like crazy. They went outside probably to get take care of their business. So these will stand up on here. They look very thin, but their height is correct. And so when you're 3D printing, one of the tools of the trade in 3D printing is to make sure these stick to the plates is stick glue, like Elmer's stick glue, you know, like kids use in school or whatever. And it can get this white residue, which is really annoying. And there, well, I just probably lost one to the abyss. That is my ugly carpet. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get this to stick on. The key is not to get it stuck to my tweezers and to get it straight too. That's the other thing. I want to make sure I do have some squaring tools somewhere here. Where are they? This is what I get for organizing my desk. All right. Pardon my head if you saw my head. So it's on there pretty good. So it's close enough. Be able to put the next one on the other side, but again, I want to take off, make sure I scrape off some of that stuff. And I don't always trust my eyes. That's why I kind of want to square things up. So this one I can see I placed off a bit, and now that's gonna, don't want that to stick to my hand. See if I can get that right on there. I'll have to try that again. Okay. My arm keeps dropping those things. So let's try this again. I could try using that thin to me a cement, but it's not. It doesn't work as good. But I'm wondering with these small parts if it would work, because this, like, I can tell that that's not square. I'm just looking to get it even and square. And I gotta find my machinist square too. I don't know where I cleaned the desk. And now I can't find the machinist square. I have two of them. Can't find either one right now. But I'm going to see, to me that's off. There we go. So it's off slightly. So this odorless CA is a little bit of a different formulation, so it has a longer working time, which is kind of nice in situations like this. And I have a very shaky hand. I've got a little bit of a tremor in my hands. So, once again, sorry for the head. That's really try this again. It's very sticky, unfortunately, with this stuff, and well, luckily it also comes off. This version of the CA comes off your hands pretty well, so you don't quite get it as stuck as you could with other CA glues. So let's do this. Let's see if we can get this square. This is, sorry, that's off camera a little bit. Let's see here. Next one up. It's going to go. So again, these are my eyes, and my eyes aren't great, so these are going to be hopefully about right. And it wants to stick to this. Darn it. There's no art form to this. It's just getting her done. So we'll keep working on that. See if we can get this to stay in one spot. Get some excess glue off the ends of this tweezers. I just bought this set at Michael's. I had they only had 20% off online orders at the time. But I also had $5 off, and it was $14.99 for a huge set of these. And so it came out to just about half price. So not a bad deal. All right, so this one, I think that needs a little bit. Let me see. I also have this. This is Instaset from the same company, and this will help. I don't like putting a lot on. Let's see if it's on. I think that got on and dried there, but yeah. So with my trip to New Jersey coming up, I won't have my regular Friday live streams for the next couple weeks, but either Friday or Saturday, Brad from Willow Creek Industrial Spur is going to be doing live streams. His brother also does some, and his brother's traveling, and I'm traveling. So I said, take my time slot if you want. And I know his brother's does. I think it's Saturday nights for us in the U.S. It's Sunday mornings in in Australia, I think, or New Zealand. But he has this great little layout in his home, and he's been working hard on detailing it and everything. So when he goes live, when I'm away, I highly recommend both subscribing to his channel and watching his updates, and also joining him for when he streams over the next couple weeks. I'm going to try and get this one on here, try and have it cross appropriately and hopefully not attached to the supposed to be. There. All right, that one didn't work so well. And created that film there. So I have to take that off. The only thing with this Instaset, when it mixes with the glue, it creates this big film on here, and this ugly film on here, so I just have to sand that off without ruining the piece. Well, I know, like I said, people got other things. This was a test stream. It's actually been on for almost an hour. So I want to thank everybody for coming. Again, check out Willow Creek Industrial Spur, and when Brad goes live over the next couple weeks, as I won't be going live because I will be traveling. Everybody have a great rest of your night, and remember to just jump in.